Welcome, I'm Jason with Cerakote. Today we're going to demonstrate the procedure for replacing the fluid line on your Cerakote Robots dress pack. The tools required for this job are an SAE and metric Allen wrench set, adjustable wrenches or equivalent, flat blade screwdriver, a 3/16 drill bit, flush cut cutters, tubing cutters or razor blades. The supplies needed for this project are your replacement fluid line from Cerakote, some tape, and any fluid fittings that may be needed during the inspection process. Lastly, we'll have some PTFE thread tape and zip ties. Using a 4mm Allen, remove the first spray gun. Photograph the orientation of all pneumatic lines and depress the orange collar while pulling the hose to remove. Follow the same procedure for removing spray gun 2. After disconnecting all of the pneumatic hoses, pull them out of the end of arm tooling to gain access to the fluid line nut. Use a wrench to remove the nut from the top of the fluid tee that retains the line. Upon removal, release the clamp that holds the dress pack to the robot. Depress and release the latch on the remaining system holders. Cut any zip ties or remove fastening devices that are holding lines out of the way, and disconnect from the manifold. Remove the protective sleeving. And note the orientation of the two trigger air lines. Depress the collar and release the hose. Using a wrench, remove the final nut from the fluid system. Carefully remove the dress pack from the robot. This completes the removal of the old dress pack. Insert a 3/16 drill bit into the new fluid line about halfway. Cut the old nut off the old fluid line and save for a later time. Insert the freshly cut end of the old fluid line onto the drill bit and tape the joint with high-tack tape. 1 to 2 wraps is sufficient. With assistance, begin pulling the old fluid line out of the dress pack. It helps if the dress pack is strung out as straight as possible for this task. Leave 7 to 8 inches exposed of new fluid line. Disconnect your wrap. And remove the drill bit from both ends. Cut the old nut off for future use during installation of the new dress pack. Using a 6mm Allen wrench, remove the first 2 screws from one manifold. Using a wrench, remove both nuts from the short section of fluid line. Using the 2 supplied sections of fluid line, bend them in a 90-degree shape and install the old nuts from the original assembly. Make sure the compression fittings have the taper flared out. Thread the assembly back together to both the tee and the manifold and tighten with a wrench. Hand thread the manifold screws to hold it in place before tightening the fluid line. Use a wrench to gently hand tighten. Align the manifold to the end of arm tooling with an adjustable wrench, and use a 6mm wrench to tighten the two bolts. Repeat this process for the opposite manifold. Install the fluid line from the new dress pack into the T and tighten the nut with a wrench. Install the new dress pack into the system holder and latch. Feed through the pneumatic lines for spray gun 1 and push to connect each connection based on the photograph you took at the beginning of the process. Make sure proper orientation is followed for operation of the robot. Repeat this process for spray gun 2. Latch the remaining system holders and pay careful attention to the direction the dress pack needs to be oriented. Depress the final clamp of the system holder and utilize the labels on the supply side to match each air hose connection. Tie up any loose connections with a zip tie or equivalent fastening device up out of the way where the area scanner will not detect them. If using a zip tie, be careful not to pinch any of the pneumatic hoses. Replace the spray gun 1 and 2 trigger air lines. For orientation, reference your original photo. Following installation, replace the vinyl wrap that protects the assembly. Install the nut and new compression ferrule with the taper facing outward into the ball valve. Begin threading the nut and tighten with an adjustable wrench. Load approximately 1 quart of acetone into the pressure pot and pressurize the system. Make sure to leave the fluid valve off for this step. Open the maintenance menu and begin a clean system. Allow the robot to articulate down into the purge bucket before opening the fluid valve. Allow the system to run completely out of acetone. This will conclude the replacement process. Thank you for watching. For more information, visit Cerakote.com and see our other videos and tutorials on YouTube.